Hello everyone and welcome to my corner of the world. Today I have a technique to share with you, and it's how to create this lovely super shiny effect. It's an idea I got from one of my stamping sisters, Amy Williams, and I thank her for her generosity in sharing it with us. So let me share with you how we create this. Now, we have some products in the catalogue called Enamel Effects, and they come in two types. One is the metallics, which has got gold, silver and copper, and the other is in the white, red and black. Now for this technique, I've used one from each packet, one of the silver and the other of the white. And the only reason I did that was that I preferred the effect, the finished effect that I got. So you'll want to have a piece of card that has been embossed, and I have used this floral embossing folder, and you can see it makes the most beautiful impression on your cardstock. So I've just run that through, and it does get a bit messy, so we're going to need a little bit of paper here, and we're going to need a mat. This is a silicone mat, and we're going to need a spatula, and then these are the spatula sets that are in the catalogue that primarily are used with the embossing paste, but they work beautifully for this. And you'll also need a re-inker, and this can be any colour that you like. I am using Lost Lagoon cardstock, so I've gone for a slightly different shade in Pretty Peacock. So those are my supplies. So I also need a sponge. Now this is an old piece of sponge. You could use like a makeup sponge that you can get from the sort of discount stores. That will work just as well, but it does need to be dry. So we're going to pour ourselves a healthy splodge of silver and an equally healthy splodge of the white pearl. And that seems an awful lot, but we've got to cover a whole piece of cardstock here. And then you can either put a drop on your effect, Enamel Effects, or you can just set aside a little drop to one side to just add in, because you can always add more, but you can't take any out. So I'm just going to pick up some of my ink, and I'm going to try stirring it, but keeping it as close to a blob as possible. I don't want to spread it all over my mat. Okay, now I have discovered that what might look quite strong, once you get it on the card, isn't as strong as you thought it was. So you do need to put a little bit more than that in. And I think I'm going to put a little bit more than that in as well. There we go. I think we should have a bit more colour there. That's looking a little bit more. That's better. Well, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. That's me. There we go. I'll just put all this together. Oh Lord, the neighbours mowing their lawn. Right, so then with my piece of sponge, like this, okay, I'm just going to pick up a little of my mixture, and with a circular motion, I'm going to add it to my card. Can you see it is quite pale, even though it does look quite dark in the here. You see, you can, why you need a lot, because you've got quite a lot of card to cover. And I'm using like clockwise and anti-clockwise movements, because then that will get into all the little nooks and crannies that the embossing produces. I think I've probably just got enough. So what did seem an extraordinary amount actually was the perfect amount. There we go. So you need to make sure you put that somewhere safe out the way so that you don't get it on any of your other work. And you may need to go wash your hands before you start. Now, this is almost dry, but it's just a tinsy tacky. So I am going to set it to one side while I get my other bits and pieces together. So I'm using the Unbound Love stamp set. Lots of beautiful greetings in this, in some lovely fonts, and I'm coordinating it with the Unbound Love dies. So each of these sayings will actually have a die that will fit in somewhere, somehow, to one of these stamps. So we're just going to make a very simple birthday card, much easier. And I've got some bits of card, white card, and I've got my little mini embossing machine, which I love. So I'm using just this plain, it's sort of stitched effect on for my greeting. There we go. So that's the one piece. And then just to give a little bit more detail, I'm going to cut out these leaves. So there's a twin leaf and a single leaf. So we're gonna just use that. I can just see that I've got a little bit left in. I didn't clean that out very well when I last used it. And so we're just going to cut one of each of those. Right, let's get that out of the way and lose our scraps. And then we should have our beautiful leaves. Okay, aren't they gorgeous? There's number one. And number two. So this one just needs to easily just quickly poke those out. See, look, they come out sweet as a nut. Beautiful. Lovely, lovely. There. And then we've got our other leaf. So as I said, we're just going to make this into a simple birthday card. And I've just got my happy birthday from the stamp set. And we're going to do that. And I'm also going to put happy birthday on my envelope. There we go. Super. So I think that's as much stamping that we're going to do. And we can just pull together some of the pieces. So my card base is 11 by 4¼ and I've just scored it at 5½. And then I've got this piece, my liner. This is where I'm going to write your to you, love from me. And that's 5¼ by 4. And let's see how our piece is. Yeah, it's just a tad damp, but it will work. So we're going to just add some adhesive, and because of all the lumps and bumps in this, you want to be quite generous just to make sure it doesn't lift. So let's see. Now I wanted to add an extra level of scrumptiousness, so I'm using the silver trim, 1/8 silver trim, and I already cut a piece to save a bit of time. I'm just going to loop this round. This is going to make it look like the ribbon goes all the way around and then I tie a knot, but actually I call this my faux knot method. It saves on ribbon because, you know, why would you want to put ribbon on the back? But it also keeps the weight down. And if you're like me and send a lot of cards overseas, then any weight that you can save is all to the good. So I'm just going to put 5 dimensionals, 1 on each corner and 1 in the middle. And we're going to attach that then to the front of the, got a little scrap of something else on there, on the front of my card. And then I've got this greeting. Now, because I want it to sort of straddle over my ribbon, I'm going to put dimensionals just at the top and the bottom rather than on the sides, which is kind of my natural inclination to do that. Like that. I've got my 2 pretty little leaves and I am going to attach those with a glue dot. So I'm gonna tuck, let me think. So I tuck one here like that, and we'll tuck the other one on the other corner like that. And then our final, absolute final little flourish, which, what did I do with them? I have some gorgeous pearls, and they're not, I've put them down somewhere. Well, not to be disappointed. We're just going to do some dimensional, spit it out, Cindy, some rhinestones. I know I would hit on it eventually. So I'm going to put 1 big, 1 medium and 1 small. I think that's enough. So there we have a really super duper technique where we're using the Enamel Effects to create that lovely shimmer. Well, I do hope that you have enjoyed this. If you have, perhaps you go ahead, give me a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, perhaps you'll subscribe and share my videos. And if you have any comments, just pop them below. I'd certainly love to read them. And if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. So thank you very much for choosing to spend some time with me today. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye for now.